Now I'm going to read a story, A Mad Tea Party. This story actually taken from the main story Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. This story is written by Lewis Carroll. So the writer Lewis Carroll wrote this story, and this story has many more parts. A Mad Tea Party is one of them. Okay, let's get started the story. There was a table set out under a tree in front of the house, and the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea at it. A dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep, and the other two were using it as a cushion, resting their elbows on it and talking over its head. Very uncomfortable for the dormouse, thought Alice, only as it's asleep. I suppose it doesn't mind. So, in this part, we come to know that the table was under a tree and that was set out in front of a house, and March Hare and Heather were sitting and they were having a tea at it. And a dormouse was sitting between them, and also it was fast asleep. And March Hare and Heather was using dormouse as a cushion, and they were resting their elbows on it, and they were talking. And Alice was thinking that maybe Dormouse was very uncomfortable. So, in this situation, what happened? The table was a large one, but the three were all crowded together at one corner of it. No room, no room, they cried out when they saw Alice coming. So, when they saw Alice was coming, then they cried that no room. That means you cannot sit here. There's plenty of room, said Alice indignantly. And she sat down in a large armchair at one end of the table. So, although they were telling that there's no place, no place is here, so you cannot sit. But Alice replied indignantly that, well, why you were talking about like that? There's plenty of room. That's why she sat down at one corner of the table. Have some wine, the March Hare said in an encouraging tone. So March Hare was offering her some wine. Alice looked all around the table, but there's nothing on it but tea. I don't see any wine, she remarked. But when they offered Alice some wine, Alice looked around all the table, but she didn't find any wine without tea. That's why she was talking that there's anything, said the March Hare. March Hare also told that yes, there's nothing. There is not anything here on the table. Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it, said Alice angrily. So angrily Alice replied, as there is no wine on the table, so why you offered me? She was asking to March Hare. It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited, said March Hare. So March Hare also replied, yes, you were talking about civil. Okay, what about your civil? You came here without any invitation, and without asking us, you sat down. You sat down here. Why you did it? Just March Hare was trying to ask to Alice why you came here and why you sat down here. I didn't know it was your table, said Alice. It's late for a great many more than three. So Alice was telling that why you were talking about like that. There are many more tables, more chairs are here. So why you were talking about? Why talking like that? Your hair wants cutting, said the Hatter. So Hatter was talking about her hair. That means her hair needs cutting. Who told it? Who told it? Hatter. Hatter was telling like that. He had been looking at Alice for some time with great curiosity, and this was his first speech. So for the first time, Hatter was telling like that Alice, you need to cut your hair. You should learn not to make personal remarks, Alice. Alice said with some severity. It's very rude. So Alice was replying that you were talking about my personal thing. I should cut my hair. This is my personal thing. Why you are talking about my personal thing? It's very rude. The hatter opened his eyes with very wide on hearing this, but all he said was, "Why is a rival like a riding desk?" "Come, we shall have some fun now," thought Alice. So Alice thought at last that we can have some fun with you. All of us, we can have some fun. Just Alice thought that we can have some fun. So that was the whole story. I think you enjoyed the whole story, and now it's your turn to read it the story frequently to find out each and every answer. There are total 8 questions. Who was sitting at the table under the tree when Alice arrived? You have to identify. What were the march hare and Hatter resting their elbows on? Maybe Dormouse. What did the march hare offer Alice? Maybe some wine. Why didn't she take any? As because there was no wine on the table. List 3 ways in which Alice spoke to her hosts. That will be most probably that indignantly, then angrily, then severity. Maybe you have to organize answers on your own, but you cannot answer in one word. Okay. Was Heather mad on or angry or both? Give reasons for your answer. Why does Alice think they will have fun now? So that was for today. Goodbye, everyone. See you soon.